Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker in multiplayer in Forza Horizon 4. Now this car has gained quite a reputation for being very overpowered in A-Class, so today we will put it to the test and see if that is indeed true. I am using a rank 800 tune made by Attacks Johnson. His YouTube channel is Johnson Racing, and he makes some pretty good Forza Horizon 4 videos, so you should definitely check him out. I decided to skip the acceleration and top speed test thingy in the tunnel in this video because I just figured, let's have more time for races. Let me know what you guys think about this. In this video are 4 races between me and 6 members of my Purple Team Discord. If you would also like to join in some of these community races, what you can do is join my Purple Team Discord. The link will be in the description, and in the special roles channel there will be an emoji, a Forza Horizon 4 emoji you can click on, and it will give you the Forza Horizon 4 role. Whenever I am about to record one of these, I will tag that role, and if you send me a message on Xbox, I will invite you to the convoy, and then you can race with me. This is probably one of the easiest ways that you can get into one of my videos, if of course you have Forza Horizon 4. And if you don't, I would definitely recommend checking it out, because it is an awesome game. Currently, the Bone Shaker is one of my favorite cars in the game, because in my experience with unranked multiplayer, it has been one of the easiest cars to consistently pick up wins in, which is definitely good for people who are not super pros at the game. So why this car in particular? Why is it so overpowered in A-Class? Well, there are a few reasons. The first one, which you probably noticed at the beginning of this video, was that this car accelerates very quickly. It is, I believe, one of the faster accelerating cars, definitely in Class A, and so that's where its first strength is. Its second strength is its great grip on asphalt. Now, I warn you, if you go off-road in this car, it will not quite be so easy. Off-road, it tends to bounce around and not be grippy at all. However, this car does have a disadvantage, as every overpowered car probably does. It tends to understeer in a lot of cases. Its turning radius is a bit wide, so you might have to brake more in this car to get around some corners than others, but if you have wide sweeping curves, you can usually get around them with no problem, no skidding, and nothing like that. So the tracks with those sorts of places are the best ones. The guy that's been on my tail for the entire race is Cloud82 in his Shelby Daytona. Now the Daytona is one of the other overpowered cars in Class A. I believe the Bone Shaker is more overpowered, but the Daytona is one of the cars that most gives this one a run for its money. There are some other cars like the BMW M2 and the Subaru 22B that can do pretty good in A-Class, but for the most part, the Daytona and the Hot Wheels Bone Shaker rule the road here. At this point, Cloud managed to pass me in his Daytona by taking the turn a bit closer to the inside. And this is a really good strategy. If you're going around a curve and the other person takes the outside, you can take the inside, maybe barely even going through the checkpoint, and get ahead of them. But you gotta be careful. There I managed to go closer to the inside myself and therefore passed him again, but he is still right on my tail. Thankfully, the finish line is just up ahead and we're able to come in this race first place. One reason I made a video about this car was, of course, because I like driving it and it's very powerful, but also because a lot of you guys had asked for it as well. So if there's any specific cars in the game you'd like me to test, just let me know. We are followed by that Daytona in second place, a Miura in third, and a Ford wagon in fourth. Now, this Ford wagon is actually not that bad, as we will see in this race here. This time we are on the Horizon Festival Sprint, which is a shorter track. Now, the other cars, besides the 3 I mentioned at the end of the previous race, are a BMW i8, which is apparently not too great in this class, a Nissan GTR, and another Daytona. So we've got 2 Daytonas in this race. This was a very good test between me and the Daytona. Usually what I do when I do these private lobbies is I let people pick any car in the class that they want to use. This way we've got a good variety, hopefully some good competition, and we can see pretty well which cars are better than others. Because if everybody was in the same car, I don't think it would be quite as fun to watch. Sure, the races might be closer, but we wouldn't really learn anything about the different cars. Now, if I ever test a car in a class that is not particularly great, I might say, okay, try to choose something else that's not especially great so I wouldn't get whomped all over, if you know what I mean. But yeah, usually I just let people choose what they want. After these races, I did a few more races with some of these guys, and Get Rexon was in a Peel P50. Now, that's an interesting car, and a lot of people have requested I make a video about that. So that's definitely something that will be coming. If you don't know, the Peel P50 is a very tiny car that is very unstable and yet shoots off like a rocket at the beginning of races. It is ridiculous. So coming up to the end of this race here, we've got the Ford wagon ahead of us, but we take advantage of our better acceleration and maybe top speed as well, and pass him at the very last second to finish in second place. A Daytona came in first place, followed by me, and then the Ford wagon. I might have to try that car. Now for a race on Greendale Super Sprint, in which me and Get Wrecked have a bit of a battle. So this track starts in Edinburgh, the city with all of the 90-degree turns every which way, and it's very annoying sometimes if they're picked in the tracks. However, this car can get through them quite well. Even though it has a wide turning radius, as you can see right here, it grips the road, and you don't really have to worry about skidding into a building or something like that, as long as you're not going like way too fast. So as long as you slow down enough, you're going to be able to get around the turns in Edinburgh in this car pretty much flawlessly. Now, I want to warn you about something in Edinburgh if you are playing on free roam and you have to go through it. Do not try to take many shortcuts, because the thing is, oftentimes outside Edinburgh, there will be an impenetrable barrier, I don't even know if that's a word, impenetrable, whatever, barrier around it, you guys know what I mean. And you're just gonna kind of hit it and you won't be able to get through. So if you go through Edinburgh in free roam, try to stay on the path, because that's the way you know you're going to get through it just fine. Now, free roam is only in dirt and cross-country races, which is a nice change. But yeah, it still has happened occasionally, and I am speaking from experience in this matter. Now, because I know I have to brake a lot in this car to go around corners, I braked a bit too much around there going onto the highway, and thus Gerexon, who probably did not brake as much, is able to pass me here. Whenever I do private lobby races or races and online adventures, whether ranked or unranked, even though I haven't really played ranked ones yet, I always try to play clean, not trying to ram people, not shoving my opponents off the road when they come next to me, because no one really likes that. Races are almost always a better experience for pretty much everybody involved when people play clean. Now there, I was not trying to ram him, I just did not brake quite enough for the turn, and thus I went a bit to the wall. But you saw, this car did not really spin out. I was able to recover quickly. That's one good thing about this car. It is pretty forgiving if you, say, don't brake enough, because you just kind of tap the wall and then you can be on your way. No tire spinning and stuff. At least with traction control on. I don't know how it is with traction control off. I tried turning traction control off once, and let's just say it wasn't pretty. What happened was that whenever I tried to get going from a standstill, my car would always fishtail and skid one way or the other, and I could hardly correct it, and it just made me slow down a bunch. Now, some people can get used to this and deal with it, but I just haven't been able to. So here we come in first, followed by the Daytona and the Ford wagon. That seems to be a pretty common podium position lineup in this video. Now for our final race, which is on Bamberg Coast Circuit. This is the first circuit, I believe, I have shown in my Forza Horizon 4 videos. Let me know if you would like to see more of these. Usually I try to do more of the longer ones, you know, that you don't have to do laps around, because I think that makes it more interesting. Because when you do the circuit races, well, you go around the same thing 3 times, so it may not be quite as interesting to watch, but yeah, I put it in here just to see what you guys think of it. And it was a good race, that's also important. Now, there's been a bit of rumors going around recently in Forza Horizon 4 that there is going to be a second expansion coming that apparently has to do with mini cars. Now, when I first heard this, I was thinking, like most people, small cars, maybe? Like toy cars, RC cars, I have no idea. But then I thought, what if it's literally mini cars? Like the make Mini, like the Mini Cooper, for example. And apparently Forza has posted some pictures recently with minis in them. Now, I honestly don't think the expansion is going to just have mini brand cars, because that would be rather lame if there wasn't really much of anything else. What I think is happening is that by showing Mini cars, the brand, they're trying to get people to think Mini as in small or something like that. And they said there was like a little something coming. So obviously they're trying to give some not so subtle hints here. But anyways, I have no idea when that expansion is coming. I do not actually have the current expansion, the Fortune Island one. However, maybe if the expansions have some good stuff in them, I might purchase them later on. I'm not really sure yet. Currently ahead of us, we have Cloud in his Daytona, and behind us, Lukey in his Ford wagon, which apparently can do extremely well. And now it's time for my general review about this car. It is definitely a car worth picking up if you can get it. Now, let me warn you, it is very rare, and pretty much now you can only get it on the auction house. And probably what you would have to do to find it is to ask somebody who has it to put it up there and then you go get it quickly. That is how I got this car. Yeah, you just really are not going to find many of them. But if you cannot get this car, I would say definitely go for the Shelby Daytona. It's quite expensive, but worth saving up for if you cannot get this car. To sum up the strong and weak points of the Bone Shaker, we've got great acceleration, great grip on asphalt anyway, average top speed, and not so great turning radius. However, it is very easy to control on asphalt, one of the easiest cars in the game to drive, I would say, because it is very predictable. Your car is not going to spin out and do crazy stuff that you didn't think it was going to do. And predictability is a very important factor in any racing game, but especially one such as this one, where any little mistake could cost you multiple positions. The Ford wagon kept fighting, trying to get around me for second place, but we did not let him, and thus we come in second place, next to the nice castle there on the beach. That isn't the one I show at the beginning. The one I have is the one in Edinburgh. So thank you all for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 9 and Forza Horizon 4 content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!